Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're back with Roland Rogers, and we wanted today to talk in more detail about Swap Force. Obviously, it's not out yet, but in a retail world, I'm sure you guys are all getting ready for its launch. So how does it feel to be working in the industry as a big title like this starts to approach?
It's getting quite exciting. We're getting a lot of people in asking about it. A lot of shops, a lot of different branches are all getting prepped for it. They're moving things around, getting all new displays set up. And, obviously pre-orders are still going really well. And, it is getting really exciting.
Mm-hmm. And do most of the customers come in, are they quite well informed about what the new game is and what they can and can't use? Or are there lots of sort of technical questions you're fielding about how will it work and all those sorts of stuff?
Well, I'm generally spending about 10-15 minutes with each customer explaining what they can and can't do, what characters, what waves, what series, and what figures will work, what won't work. It's getting hard to do that, but it's working though.
And is there a particular aspect of Skylanders that people find more confusing, or you seem to be explaining more often? Is it the new stuff, or is it just how compatibility, or?
The main thing people are worried about concerned about is why they have to have a new portal. Mm-hmm. So it's explained to them the fact it's now got to read more information than the previous ones, and then they're like, why has it got to do that? And then you explain the whole Swap Force thing, why the characters split, and then so on and so forth. And so it's getting hard to do that, but again, it's getting through to them eventually.
So in the store, I presume you're sort of getting ready with space for the new product. Is it going to see a similar sort of footprint in the store?
It's going to have a bigger footprint in the store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've moved things around. A lot of stores, there's a lot of different brands. They're all moving their stuff around. Yeah, making bigger footprint ready for it. Mm-hmm. So
sounds exciting. And I know that some particular outlets have that Dark Spyro set. That it gives you extra figures, I think. Do those sorts of packs make a big difference in terms of how many you sell, or are people just happy to buy a starter pack and they just want one?
Well, most people are happy to buy just the normal starter pack as it is. But there are the hardcore collectors, I suppose, that are going to buy all of them just so they can have those special characters, because it's going to make the 256 swappable characters a lot more. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And what about you? Are you willing to say how you're going to go in terms of your pre-ordering for Swap Force launch?
I've pre-ordered 3 different starter packs.
Yeah, really?
Obviously, after the PS4 comes out, I'm going to have to get the one for that one as well, because I'm going to stop playing my PS3 then. So.
Yeah, so that means, I guess the figures, though, they'll take all their experience forward, even though you need new games. That's quite nice. You've got that physical aspect, because other games, obviously your save file and stuff would just be lost, but you've got some sort of continuity with the figures.
Yeah, because the only thing you've got to do then is just change ownership. And as far as I remember, when you change ownership, the characters don't reset like they do in Infinity, for instance. Mm-hmm. So I can just transfer them straight over to the PS4, add them all in, and away we go. Yeah.
And so, I mean, are people pre-ordering on a particular platform? Are you seeing, one of them getting more pre-orders than the others? How does that balance?
The PS3 seems to be getting the more pre-orders that I know of.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what that is. Obviously, I know the Wii, they're phasing it out, so there's not so many people buying that. Yeah. And there's been a lot of disappointment with Infinity, the fact that it's not properly 2-player, and the graphics are awful compared to the HD consoles. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of popping over to Infinity, in terms of sales on that, are you seeing more on a particular format? Is the Wii selling less with its fewer features, or are people not really realising until they've got it?
That's the problem. People aren't realising, because it says on the box that it's 2-player, but it doesn't explain how it's 2-player. So, so a few people ask, like, why can't I play 2-player? And it's like, well, it's not actually capable.
Yeah, but so you can play 2 players in the toy box, I think, but in the main adventure, then that's just sort of 1 player, one at a time. Although I was interested, I didn't quite realise this at first, that on the starter packs, they're only 1 player in the adventures anyway, until you buy a second figure.
Yeah, it's like you can't play with Jack Sparrow and Mr. Incredible on Pirates of the Caribbean. You have to have Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones, or Mr. Incredible and Violet, for instance, sort of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'd have to buy 1 extra figure, and then in that particular play set, you could play 2 players. So going back to the, in terms of pre-orders for Swap Force, so what do you think's driving that sort of interest in PS3? Isn't there's an interest in those higher definition graphics? And
it is that, but also the fact that a lot of people now are using their PS3s as a full home entertainment system, because it's obviously the Blu-ray player and all this. So a lot more people have PS3s now than they do with the Wiis. The Wiis are gathering dust in the corner, and the PS3 is taking over. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how about Wii U? It's going to be, as Infinity, Swap Force is going to be on the Wii U as well. Is that something which features in people coming in?
We get more people buying the Wii U pack and realising when they get home they've bought the wrong pack.
They think it'll work on the Wii and they don't realise. Yeah,
so that's an unfortunate problem, but there's nothing we can do about it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So in terms of like your tips, if you've got viewers who are getting ready for Swap Force, they're getting their pre-orders all in order. What's the best way to make sure you don't miss out? In terms of getting to stores and timings and where what you should pre-order.
Depending on what consoles you've got at home, say if you've got a Wii in the bedroom and a PS3 or something like that, I'd go for the better console version. They're not much different in price, only a couple of quid difference in them. And get the pre-orders done as soon as you can, because we are going to run out of stock. Most places are going to run out of stock quite quickly.
And so if you've pre-ordered, it'd be sort of first come, first serve. So if you pre-ordered earlier, you'd be high up the list. Is that right?
Well, as long as you've done the pre-order, I think it's about a week, up until a week before release. You're guaranteed your copy on the day of release regardless. But if you turn up on the day and you haven't done a pre-order, can't guarantee you're going to have it.
Yeah. And so do you have people coming in and pre-ordering, like you're saying with Infinity, the whole set? I mean, or are they just pre-ordering the game? Are you doing pre-orders for figures?
Well, I don't know about most places, but we don't do the pre-orders for the figures because we can't guarantee they're all going to turn up when they're supposed to. It's the same with most places. You don't know what's coming when. So people are just pre-ordering the packs, but then they're going to turn up on the day and just grab every figure off the shelf. So.
Cool, great. That's a really useful update. We'll have more on Swap Force as we get closer to launch. Hopefully we'll get our hands on the game maybe slightly before it hits stores. We'll see how soon we get it. But subscribe to the channel. Drop a like and a comment. We'd love to hear what you think. What's your tactics for pre-ordering? But we'll be back with more information soon.